Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to debug a crash in LibreOffice on Windows like a Pro. To do that we need two tools. First is a version of LibreOffice with debug symbols. I produce them regularly, so you can ask me or the developers in the mailing list for one of those versions. And then the Microsoft debugging tools. The version of LibreOffice with debugging symbols is exactly as or the same as the regular one. It's just a bit slower and it contains a lot more of information that it's useful when you have to debug or to report a crash on Windows, but functionality is more or less the same as the regular one. It just can run slower, and it's not useful for production environment except when you want to debug some problems you have with the program. But as you see, it's more or less the same as the regular one. Apart from that, we need the WinDBG program from Microsoft. To get it, we have to go to this web page and download the debugging tools for Windows. I recommend you to just go to this section, install debugging tools for Windows as a standalone component, and follow this advice. To get the debugging tools in this case installation wizard, just select debugging tools and clear all the other components. So you click here and you can get the debugging tools. It says I don't have enough space, but I don't care. I already have it downloaded in my computer, and this is the one I'm going to install. The debugging tools are already installed. As you see, Windows Kit, debugging tools for Windows. Okay, WinDBG. This is the tool we need, and it's already installed. Apart from that, we also need the Microsoft symbols, and we can download it with using the Microsoft symbol server. To do that, we just use we can copy this URL here in the instructions and then add it to the WinDBG this way. Debugging tools for Windows, WinDBG, file, symbol path file. Here I have already added it. The only thing I have to change is the place where the symbols are going to be stored in my computer. I always use this location. So let's keep the debugger here. Now that we already have everything we need to properly report a crash in LibreOffice on Windows, we just need the proper crash. To produce a crash in LibreOffice, what I did is to modify the source code to add a few lines. The first part just shows a message box, and the other part makes LibreOffice crash by adding an equal number to a random variable. So let's try this and see how it works. I have already compiled it to save time. So here it's generated binary, and I'm going to replace that file with the binary. Just in case, first I make a backup of the original file, and now okay, I copied a new one. So let's see what happens now. Okay, I launch LibreOffice, I get the message box, and when I click on OK, the application crashes. You can see some XXX here, but it's normal, and just because I'm using the debug version. So we don't want to send that information to Microsoft. So we already have LibreOffice in debug. We already have a crash that it's easily to reproduce, and we already have the debugging tools for Microsoft, so we have everything we need to report a good crash on Windows, a crash that will be helpful for developers. So what we have to do? First, we start LibreOffice, and then we go to WinDBG. We select attach to process. We look for soffice.bin, this one. Say yeah, yes, okay. Now we are attached to the process, and we select debug and go. So we have LibreOffice running here. We can now open the document that makes LibreOffice crash, or do whatever to make LibreOffice crash. In that case, we just have to click OK, and LibreOffice will crash. Okay, so LibreOffice crashed. And what's what we get here in the debugger? We already, as we have debugging symbols, we get the line of the code that makes LibreOffice crash, and here the reason why LibreOffice crashed. To make things easier to report to developers, the best thing we can do is to type the following instruction here: analyze dash p. You see that appears exception analysis in the screen. We'll have to wait a bit. You see that it's busy. Okay, we already get that window again. We don't need that. But here we have a lot of useful information for developers. So we just select the information of the exception analysis that includes, for example, the stack trace. This part is very important, and even the source code where the application crashed. We copy it, and then we can just attach this very useful information to bug report. Now we can send that bug report to the developers, and the developers will be very happy to receive it, and because it's very helpful and it has all the information the developers need to fix the crash. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will try to produce more videos about this topic in the future. Thank you very much.